I hereby call to order the Board of Directors meetings of the New Jersey Transit Corporation, New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Bus Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc.
Good morning. Please mute your phones and turn your attention to the public safety announcement.
In the event of an emergency at NJ Transit, your safety is our top priority. Please pay attention to the following safety instructions. In case of an emergency, announcements will be made over the loudspeaker or by a uniformed police officer. The main exit for this location is the stairwell, located in the lobby next to the elevators. There is a second staircase through the door behind the dais on the right, under the exit sign. If necessary, NJ Transit Police will call 911, administer CPR, and use the defibrillator located near the elevator. Fire extinguishers are located in the front and back of this room. Please do not approach the dais. Documents can be presented to staff at the entrance of the boardroom. Please follow the directions of the NJ Transit Police and staff. Thank you, and have a safe day.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Abrantes? Here. Board Member Brown? Here. Board Member Medina?
Here.
Board Member Nara?
Here.
Board Member Thomas? Here. Board Member Weiss?
Here.
Board Member Keenan? Here. Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Chair O'Connor?
Here.
For the record, Board Members Medina and Nara are participating remotely. Board Member Morocco is absent. This is a meeting of the New Jersey Transit Corporation and its affiliates and subsidiaries. Adequate notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJ Transit's enabling legislation. Notice was filed on June 5th, 2024, with the Secretary of State and sent to newspapers of general distribution, posted in the main entrance of NJ Transit's headquarters, published on the corporation's website, and sent to each individual agency and organization that requested such notice.
May I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the May 8, 2024 board meeting?
So moved, Caniff.
Any discussion? May I please take a roll call vote?
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Here.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Yes.
Board Member Weiss? Yes. Board Member Caniff? Yes. Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
President and CEO Corbett will present the President and CEO's monthly report.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you, and members of the board, and good morning to all the members of the public joining us in person or online. To start off, I'll highlight again, safety is one of New Jersey's Transit's core values in our 10-year strategic plan, and I'd like to begin today to remind everyone that June is National Safety Month, designated by the National Safety Council. National Safety Month is also aligned, as I said, with one of our 5 overarching goals in our 10-year strategic plan, NJT 2030, to ensure the reliability and continued safety of our transit system. This year's theme is Think Safety, Ride Safely, and this month NJ Transit will be reinforcing safety strategies by educating commuters, workers, and residents about safe practices and potential risks through all our social media channels. This month and every month, NJ Transit encourages all our customers and employees to think safety, ride safely. Before I delve into my customary opening update on service and planning, I'd like to address an issue that has been of paramount concern to us for many years, but particularly over this last month. As I'm sure you're all aware, following a series of Amtrak infrastructure incidents last month and even last week, the governor sent a letter to Amtrak leadership to express his extreme displeasure with the disproportionate impact these incidents were having on NJ Transit customers. Morning Rush, highlighting a persistent challenge well known to the board. It is important to remember that incidents along the Northeast Corridor do not merely delay Amtrak and New Jersey Transit trains on the Northeast Corridor, but also directly impact service on multiple NJ Transit rail lines, including our North Jersey Coast Line, Raritan Valley Line, Montclair Booton, and Morrison Essex lines. Our Maine, Bergen, and Pascack Valley Line customers who transfer at Secaucus for service in and out of New York are also impacted by these incidents. In fact, a single incident on the Northeast Corridor at the height of rush hour may only impact a small number of Amtrak trains, but could impact more than 150 NJ Transit trains, as was the case on May 22nd, when 160 of our trains were canceled or delayed. As a follow-up, on May 30th, I met with Amtrak CEO Stephen Gardner, along with key senior staff from both our organizations, to develop a comprehensive response and review of all incidents, as well as a specific plan to upgrade and modernize the infrastructure owned by Amtrak on the Northeast Corridor between Trenton and New York City. As a result of this meeting, NJ Transit and Amtrak agreed to the following: establish a joint incident response committee, enhance communication protocols for quicker and more precise information sharing, consider service adjustments for better maintenance efficiency, and coordinate major project outages to optimize resource uses. This meeting discussion was open, frank, and constructive, and we both recognize the importance of cooperation and collaboration for the benefit for all of our customers. Returning to service and planning, as we work to ensure that smooth and efficient operations along the Northeast Corridor, we continue to find success providing service on the infrastructure we own to and from MetLife Stadium, where since our last board meeting, we have provided seamless service to 2 Morgan Wallen concerts, 2 Rolling Stone concerts, and a George Strait with Chris Stapleton and a Little Big Town concert. For the remainder of the summer, we are prepared with a robust service plan for the 3 Copa America soccer matches on June 25th, 27th, and July 9th, 2 Luke Combs concerts on July 19th and 20th, the Real Madrid versus Barcelona soccer match on August 3rd, and a Kenny Chesney concert on August 17th. Building on our focus on large-scale events, NJ Transit continues to proactively prepare for the FIFA World Cup finals, which actually are to start 2 years from today, and along with 7 additional World Cup matches at MetLife Stadium in 2026. As we gear up for this massive, globally anticipated event, we understand that our success or failures hinges on the groundwork we laid today. As part of that groundwork, we continue to work closely with FIFA World Cup Host Committee and many other partners, both nationally and internationally, to incorporate best global practices. In this context, on June 17th, NJ Transit, along with Rutgers University's Center for Advanced Infrastructure and Transportation, known as Rutgers-CATE, and UITP, the International Association of Public Transport, will host a workshop at Newark Museum of Fine Arts focused on public transport for large-scale events. The goal is to enhance collaboration and planning strategies by bringing together international experts renowned for their experience hosting large-scale events with regional experts and other stakeholders who are preparing to deliver a successful FIFA World Cup in 2026. This collaboration is part of our broader strategy to position NJ Transit as a leader in delivering first-class transportation services during major global events and beyond. Before I go into today's items for board consideration, I would like to remind our customers that NJ Transit's new fares will take effect on July 1st. And as part of that, on May 15th, NJ Transit announced that refunds will be made available for unused one-way bus, rail, and light rail tickets that were purchased before June 1st, 2024. This refund policy will also apply to rail 10-trip tickets, which are the equivalent of 10 one-way tickets purchased in a single transaction. Beginning this year on August 1st and continuing through December 31st, customers can request a refund on any unused one-way or rail 10-trip tickets purchased before June 1st. All information on how to request a refund is available at njtransit.com/refunds. As an additional reminder, beginning July 1st, all one-way tickets, including rail 10-trip tickets, will be valid for 30 days only, including the date of purchase. We continue to strongly urge customers to avoid purchasing any additional one-way tickets that cannot be used by July 31st, 2024. Moving on to our agenda this morning, we have 2 items up for board consideration that I'd like to highlight. First, our board will vote to approve a contract to begin construction on the 2nd phase of our Brick Church Station project. This contract is for the interior renovation and restoration of the station house and includes improvements to our customer amenities such as refurbished bathrooms, new climate control, lighting, security features, and improved ADA-compliant accessibility. Additionally, on May 28th, I was pleased to speak at a press conference at Brick Church Station to celebrate a significant grant award from the Federal Transit Administration for this station as part of the FTA's All Station Accessibility Program. There I was joined by Acting FTA Administrator Veronica Vanderpool, of course, our Chairman, Board Chair Fran O'Connor, Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, and Congressman Rob Menendez, and many other state and local dignitaries to celebrate an $83.3 million in grant funding to transform our brick church station into a modern, fully accessible station. The station, by the way, has a rich history dating back to 1864, when a prominent local merchant built the station and donated it to the Morris and Essex Railroad for use with their horse-drawn carriage trains going from Orange to Newark. This station was rebuilt in 1880, and the current station opened in 1922, when the tracks through the city were elevated by the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad for their steam-powered locomotives. As we preserve the station's historical essence, the FTA's generous investment will fund new high-level platforms, 2 new elevators, and many additional improvements to the pedestrian tunnel and existing staircases. Speaking of infrastructure that's well over 100 years old, our board will vote this morning to advance our Brielle Drawbridge replacement project through the approval of 2 contracts that will initiate the project's conceptual and preliminary design phase. This project will replace the existing single-track movable bridge, originally built in 1911, with a new 2-track movable bridge to improve flood resiliency and maritime operations while adding capacity and resiliency to this critical connection along our North Jersey coastline. Moving on to infrastructure, NJ Transit celebrated another infrastructure achievement last month when our Newton Avenue bus garage in Camden was again recognized with a 2024 Engineering Excellence Award, this time at the national level by the American Council of Engineering Companies, or ACEC. Earlier this year in March, the project was awarded an award by ACEC's New Jersey chapter. This recognition underscores the exemplary design and engineering that defines our Newton Avenue bus garage project, reinforcing our commitment to developing sustainable, zero-emission transportation solutions. Moving on to people side of our business, I would like to touch on our efforts to enhance workplace camaraderie and inclusivity. Shortly before Memorial Day, I was pleased to speak at our first meeting of NJ Transit's newly formed Company Employee Research Group, that we call CERGs, specifically for U.S. military veterans and their families. New Jersey Transit now boasts 6 very active CERGs, including those for veterans, people with disabilities, Black African Americans, LGBTQ+, women, and emerging generations. We are also honor the extraordinary personal commitments and bravery within our New Jersey Transit family. And towards that end, on May 24th, I was proud to join New Jersey Transit Police Chief Chris Chisillo at Secaucus Junction for our annual NJTPD Awards ceremony. There, we honored 9 officers with life-saving awards, quite literally for saving their life, and others, including civilians, were recognized for exemplary service, outstanding bravery or heroism, or for military service. It was also my pleasure to recognize 5 officers who earned promotions over the last year, along with welcoming 30 newly hired members of the police force. At that ceremony, we were unable to formally honor one key award recipient, so I'd like to take a moment now to welcome Chief Chisillo and Summit Fire Lieutenant Michael Mamone, both of whom are here with us today. So, Chief, and as you come up, please stand up. This story begins on January 9th, when a customer on the Morris and Essex line train collapsed and went into cardiac arrest. While the crew summoned the NJTPD for medical assistance, Fire Lieutenant Mamone took immediate emergency action, providing effective CPR until the train could be stopped at the nearest station. Responding paramedics took over and transported the victim to Newark University's hospital for continued treatment. We're happy to report that the customer survived, and tests show that his heart did not suffer any damage because of the actions taken by First Lieutenant Mamone, quick and decisive actions. Lieutenant, now I'd like to present the Chief the Condemnation Award, so I'd like to come up and invite members of the board to come up to honor the
And I'd just like to again thank and commend Lieutenant Mamone. It's everyday citizens who help when people need help, and first responders, whether they're on duty or off duty, and the lieutenant's a perfect example, are always willing to step in and save a life. Thank you very much, Lieutenant.
Thank you. And speaking of remarkable people, I'd also, to wrap up this morning, like to take a moment to recognize and celebrate the retirement of George Burke, NJ Transit's Chief Power Supervisor in our rail division. It's one of the most critical jobs, but that's one behind the scene that most people don't realize or appreciate. So George started his, he's retiring next month after a remarkable 56-year career at New Jersey Transit. And Fran, I thought I was old, 56 years. Yeah, as long as you're having fun. But George started his career with us, well, before us in 1968 at the age of 18, working as an electrician's helper for NJ Transit's predecessor agency, the Erie-Lackawanna Railway. His career was interrupted by a tour of duty in Vietnam, where he served as a gunner's mate for the Navy, before returning to the railroad in the 70s, which would later become Conrail, and in 79, with the formation of New Jersey Transit, came over to us. George went on to play a significant role in retiring our rail system's original DC traction system to the current AC traction system, and worked his way through the ranks to his current position as Chief Power Supervisor in 1991, a position that he has held for the past 33 years. So I'm pleased to say that George is here with us today. So George, will you please come up at the front of the boardroom and allow me to present you with a special proclamation? And board members, if you don't mind coming back up. George, we certainly wish you a long and happy retirement. And George, I thought on the engineering side, I remember when Jethro retired, I thought that was a remarkable achievement. I didn't realize you had him beat. So, well, another 25 years from now, I guess I'll be due for retirement, if George, if you're the lead example. Congratulations again. Thanks so much for your service. And with that, Chair, I conclude my remarks.
Thank you, Kevin. Anna Marie Canella Rosado will present the advisory committee report.
Good morning, Chairman O'Connor, Vice Chair, board members, and staff. As President and CEO Corbett stated in his report, the Porter North Bridge project reached its 50th% completion on May 14th. We were pleased to hear that the American Council of Engineering Companies awarded New Jersey Transit a 2024 Engineering Excellence Award for its Camden Newton electric bus infrastructure upgrades. Complimentary rides throughout the transit systems were given to the brave men and women serving United States Armed Services during Fleet Week on May 22nd through the 28th. A federal grant was awarded New Jersey Transit to transform the historic Brick Church station in East Orange. The station will be fully accessible. BET MGM Meadowlands rail service between Syracuse Junction and MetLife Station will operate for soccer tournaments and concerts in June and July. The PACs were pleased to hear New Jersey Transit initiated a refund policy for unused one-way tickets purchased before June 1st of this year. Beginning August 1st through December 31st, customers can request a refund on any unused one-way or rail 10-trip tickets purchased prior to June 1st. Tickets purchased on or after June 1st must be used by July 31st, 2024, and will not be eligible for refunds. Summer ticket sales promotions began May 22nd. Discounted tickets are being offered this month to the North to Shore Festival, Atlantic City, Newark, and savings on beach excursions. Go to New Jersey Transit mobile app for more information. June is National Safety Month, and Transit reminds us to think safely and ride safely. On a solemn note, Ron Monaco, one of our PAC members who served 35 years on the North PAC, passed away last July. A memorial bench celebrating his life and legacy will be held at the White House train station on June 20th. Anyone who knew Ron knew of his dedication to transit. May he rest in peace. That concludes my report, Chairman O'Connor.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public?
There are 2 in-person speakers and 2 pre-registered telephone speakers. Speakers, in order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Priority access will be given to in-person speakers. We will then take comments from pre-registered telephone speakers, followed by any additional telephone participants who are queued to speak. Those participating by telephone, if you have not already done so, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. The first speaker is Sally Jane Gellert, followed by David Peter Allen.
Good morning. I am the chairperson of the Lackawanna Coalition, and I have recently become chair of the ScatterTac Committee. However, this is a personal statement. I have not had a chance to consult with either of my committees, so this is from me. I'm sorting out conflicted feelings. This is a busy time. I've been writing articles, preparing for a national conference later this month. I've long been concerned about transparency at the agency and corruption in our pay-to-play state, but hearing congressional candidate, son of a senator on trial, accusing his opponent of being, quote, too corrupt for Congress is interesting. Charles Stile, writing on the recent Oprah bill signature by the governor, said, quote, Oprah is dead and Governor Murphy is the executioner. We cannot expect much. We can't expect much in our government or here at the agency. We have noted that any board member who asks hard questions or votes no after on an item without the chair having expressed her approval for that doesn't survive the term or doesn't get renewed at the next term. Support for any such, all I can do is encourage my fellow citizens to stay engaged, join meetings. Both the Lackawanna Coalition and ScatterTac have open meetings. They're both June 24th online, ScatterTac in the morning on Microsoft Teams, Lackawanna Coalition in the evening on Zoom. So see for yourself, make your own judgments, come to meetings, sign up for official notices, sign up for email lists, find good government groups, issue-based, identity-based groups, all of the above. Make sure your voice heard. Board members, that means you too, ideally in this room and openly, if necessary in private conversation where you can use your influence. This is a hard time for democracy in our country and in our state, and let's all do better. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is David Peter Allen, followed by the telephone speakers.
On May 26, 2024, I sent the following statement to New Jersey Transit CEO Kevin S. Corbett, Chief of External and Government Relations Paul L. Wyckoff, Director of Local Program Support Janelle Rivera, and ScatterTac Vice Chairs Sally Jane Gellert and Jim Blaze. I have submitted that statement as an exhibit, along with supporting documents as promulgated by the person who initiated this situation. I will read this statement verbatim for the record. This is to inform you that I will relinquish the office of Chair of the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee, ScatterTAC, effective at the close of business on Friday, May 31st, 2024. After that time, my status will revert to being an ordinary member of the committee, as it was for most of the 20.5 years since I joined the committee. This action is the result of a decision by New Jersey Transit Management to revoke the purview that the committee had since it was founded in 1984 and that the agency had recognized by agreement after negotiating with the committee during 2023. As an attorney at law of this state, or as the state of New Jersey, which I said in my statement, I conducted legal research which indicated that we would be on solid ground if we were to advocate for the broader purview that we formerly had. However, I now make it clear that I have no plans to do that. While some members have indicated to me that they wanted me to do so, a majority of our members are not interested. Accordingly, I do not have the members' support to continue advocating for the purview that we recently lost, and I will not do so. Throughout my time as a ScatterTAC member, I have consistently worked to achieve a seamless mobility network for our seniors and riders with disabilities, a network that includes county-oriented services, New Jersey Transit's multimodal fixed route network, and Access Link for the riders with disabilities who need it. We have now been directed to cease and desist from advocating for such a network with the official status we still have. Therefore, I can no longer do so in that capacity. I do believe that continuing to lead ScatterTAC under this restriction would not be compatible. Or I do believe that it would not. I do not believe that it would be compatible with the vision that I have always harbored. I also state that I have done nothing wrong, and I deny any allegations to the contrary. Accordingly, I hereby relinquish the office of Chair and will return to being an ordinary committee member. As the elder statesman of this committee, I could still make suggestions about the issues that remain within our purview, but I can no longer feel comfortable in a leadership position. I wish my colleagues and our constituents well, and I hope that New Jersey Transit can prevail against the coming economic challenges. I will now have more time to spend on my journalism and my remain prepared to do what I can toward that end, including under the committee rules. That concludes my statement.
Thank you. Operator, please open the floor for public comments by telephone participants.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you have not already done so, please press *1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes for their public comment. A warning will be provided with 1 minute remaining, and again with 15 seconds remaining. Once again, please press *1 on your phone at this time if you wish to make a public comment. And there are 4 speakers in queue. Your first public comment is coming from Adam Reich. Adam, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Good morning. Chair O'Connor, could you please state for the record whether you're committed to maintaining the remote participation option for board meetings that has been in place for the past several years? Silence on this could suggest otherwise. I know that your predecessor was committed to the virtual participation option. Could you please do so today to reassure concerned riders? Board Member Nara, any update on the customer advocate position? Next, I'm concerned to hear that ScatterTAC's purview has been restricted by New Jersey Transit Management, and I must express concern with how New Jersey Transit Management has handled issues related to disability. As someone who advocated for a mask car in the spring of 2022 and still maintains that something for the benefit of immunocompromised riders and other health-conscious individuals is essential, I'm concerned about this action. It also begs the question as to whether this was retaliatory. I note that Chair David Peter Allen, former Chair David Peter Allen, and current Chair Shirley Jane Gillard on ScatterTAC were both people who vocalized support for a mask car option in the past. And this isn't just in the abstract. In the spring of 2022, I was a member of the Tri-State Railway Historical Society Board of Directors. And what began happening is I'm told that an employee by the name of Kevin Quinn, with his immediate supervisor on the line, called, asked a tri-state contact who the F is Adam Reich and what the F is he doing. What proceeded to happen was leaders of the Tri-State Railway Historical Society and the United Railroad Historical Society began pressuring me over my mask car advocacy, over customer service complaints related to safety involving masking, and for my advocacy of a masked car, and for also criticizing Mr. Corbett about his lack of engagement on this. What seems to have followed is URHS and Tri-State being rewarded for this. New Jersey Transit ran an excursion for them, something they hadn't done in years. They've donated equipment to them since then. The absence of a customer advocate has been a huge deal to me because of the pressure I face like this and the fact I have nobody to advocate for me who's not limited to a 2 or 3 minute comment period per meeting. Having a customer advocate in place is critical because when there's wrongdoing like this, there needs to be somebody I can report to. Board, if you're not rubber stamps, give me some dialogue. I'm somebody who still goes on a train, high risk, with high risk family members myself. Asking crew members to open an additional car as a disability accommodation is sometimes accepted, but sometimes generates hostility. I've even had to deal with the police being called on me in one instance because a crew member did not like me asking for that accommodation. If you're going to take accessibility seriously, you need to engage the advocates for disability-related issues in good faith. Let's start by having a dialogue on the closed car issue, which also creates multiple customer service issues beyond accessibility alone. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Jason Anthony. Jason, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good morning, everyone, especially to Kevin Stephen Corbett on the Tuesday before my 38th birthday. Couple of things that I want to mention. I totally 100% agree with Adam Reich on all of his points. Second, I wish well to Peter David Allen on his new ventures. We will miss him on the New Jersey Transit Corporation's board meeting. But to Kevin Stephen Corbett, in his board report, it is a total travesty that everything, it has to be written. As the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, better known as the MTA, we like to present everything in PowerPoint with facts. We would love to get from Kevin Corbett himself why it has to be everything written without no facts. Because people like myself, the advocates for the disability community and veterans, feel very offended. Another thing, Chantinera. Why is it that you aren't transparent that for the past 5 years, there's no customer service advocate?
1 minute remaining.
You can lie. And you cannot deny that you are a rubber stamp to Governor Merck. And this message is to every single board member. You guys cannot deny that you are a rubber stamp to Governor Merck. Because you guys are not serving the interests of New Jersey Transit commuters. The MTA does. Because me and other advocates like Christopher D. Grife, Deborah Grife,
15 seconds remaining.
who is there in person, we could have a dialogue with every MTA board member, including MTA CEO and Chairman Janet Lieber. We could get points across. Why we cannot do that with you guys across the Hudson? That's all I have to say for this month. Have a great day.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Anna Leone. Anna, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to express once again, as I've heard all the speakers mainly talk about Access Link and people with disabilities. I'm a person with disability, and I have to say, I would rate New Jersey Transit. I was going to give it an S-, but I'll give it an F in terms of failing people with disabilities. The only thing that I saw that was accomplished by Transit and the Access Link was the fact that you've hired more drivers. However, the training is mediocre at best. I have witnessed supervisors that have told the drivers that they must put out an orange cone every time they make a stop. And I even questioned one of the supervisors. I said, not once in the 3 years that I have been riding Access Link has that happened. And so he told me that they were retraining the drivers. I then witnessed 2 other supervisors with trainees not mentioning that whatsoever. So you have people training the drivers that are not on the same page. So that's first and foremost. The bus drivers are excellent. The representatives are excellent. Your dispatchers are horrible. They do not know the geography at all. And I know that when you get on the bus, it's not first come, first serve. It's the order in which the locale is regarding the drop-off. Well, the other day, there were 2 of us, and we're in the same town, past my house directly to bring the other person 10 minutes away in the same town, and then the bus driver had to come back. So we are not operating efficiently. Efficiency translates into dollars. Why are we losing dollars?
1 minute remaining.
So that's another thing. The dispatching staff must be trained, or you must hire people that know the geography and are able to manipulate that. As I said, it costs time, wastes gas, inefficiency, and people are losing patience as well. So this definitely has to be done. Yesterday also, I was told that a bus would be arriving within 10 minutes. It was 50 minutes thereafter because the lift broke down. Nobody gave me a phone call. I can't stand on my feet more than 10 minutes. So there I am waiting for the bus. And then I'm an hour delayed. So we need to all be on the same page. And your computer system needs to be updated. It takes 60 minutes to make a reservation because your software system keeps going down all the time. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. It's not going to work. You have to pump money into it. You have to pump money. Otherwise, we are definitely, I view transit as looking upon people with disabilities as third-class citizens, and it's not fair. It is totally not fair. And I challenge anyone to ride with me or to have me come down. I'll be more than happy to offer suggestions. More than happy, because I have quite a few that are not being implemented. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. There is one other remote speaker on today's call. Please remember you can press star 1 if you wish to make a public comment. And the next public comment is coming from Janine Howard. Janine, your line is live.
Hello, how you doing? Can the board hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Janine Howard, and I've been coming to board meetings these past couple of months. I've been basically talking about NJDOT, and I just have some questions for NJ Transit. I would just like to know how many of the women voters are actually voters and not participatory, that their votes count, and they're not just insubstantial votes. And I would like to know how the females, the black females, how many have a vote on that board. That would tell us greatly, and the people letting you know that, who has the actual vote and who is just, just a, a figurehead or, just a, I don't know what you want to call it, ceremonial figure, because votes actually matter. I'd like to know who are the project managers for the 83, the millions of dollars that's being spent at Brick Church. as far as the federal project manager, New Jersey project manager, and the local project manager for these projects. And I also like to know, has the contractor been selected yet to complete these contracts? And my final question is, I want to give a contribution to a former NJDOT employee who has a great contribution to road projects. His name is William Newkirk. He's from North Carolina. He settled down in Trenton. I'd just like to acknowledge him as, he's probably one of his ideas are in those road projects. I also like to know is what are your response to Tri-State Transportation Corporation's saying about $11 billion versus the transit hike? Can some of that billions go to keeping the fares down, or even lowering the fares, or even making the transit service free? That's just some questions I would like for Corbett for this meeting, or maybe some future meetings if he needs time, or it's time for staff to address those questions. I don't think they're too hard to answer. Thank you. How many minutes I got left?
You have 1 minute remaining. If you have more comments.
More comments. I'd like to say hello to Joe Bertoni. I want to see him answer the questions. He might not answer at this meeting, but maybe he can answer that at the trust fund meeting. And I would just like to tell the public that New Jersey trust fund meetings are the most important meetings, I think, because that's where all the money is. You can see all the budget line items, and there needs to be more transparency. And I couldn't get an agenda for this meeting. Is there an agenda beforehand for the meeting so we can know what you're talking about first, instead of waiting for Corbett's report that we have to listen to? Because some people maybe want to be having the Spanish or English or whatever, translated something beforehand so they can have an educated conversation with the board. Thank you. Again, my name is Tanine Howard. Again, I was a former employee of the NJDOT, and I tried to contribute greatly to that organization, but it wasn't well deserved. They wanted me to stay in my place as a boy. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Pete Carroll. Pete, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Yeah, hi. I am a longtime Jerseyan, grown up in New Jersey. I think that, I'm certainly not the first person to bring this complaint up, but there's got to be some level of accountability and some level of understanding and communication about what's going on with all the delays in the Northeast Corridor. It's gotten to the point where the routine blaming of infrastructure, it doesn't really solve anybody's problems. There's no communication about, hey, look, we know this is getting bad. Here's what we're going to do to fix it. There's just simply nothing being done at all. And it's truly, it's a deterrent for people to move to New Jersey. I don't know how it's being allowed to happen. I really don't. I don't know how we're glossing over this mammoth issue. This is a vital organ vital artery that gets people from the Northeast Corridor to New York City, and you've got people, young folks, who are now deciding, well, I can move to New Jersey and give New Jersey my tax dollars, or I can move to Long Island and Connecticut simply because I do not want to deal with the Northeast Corridor. It ruins commutes. It is a terrible, terrible thing to have to deal with every day. I really think that there needs to be some transparency from the New Jersey Transit Board, from the New Jersey Transit writ large, about, hey, we understand this is happening. We know it's really, really bad. Here's what we're going to do to fix it. But to not have that and then to raise rates on top of it is sort of mind-boggling. Like, I don't really know where. I don't understand how that makes any sense. Like, there's just got to be some accountability there, and there's none. There's none, other than, every other day, hey, there's a 45-minute delay because of signal problems or power failure or whatever. I'm not the first person to complain about the Northeast Corridor. I won't be the last. But to just continue to act like it doesn't exist is truly embarrassing. And I think as a state we deserve better. As a lifelong New Jerseyan, I think we all deserve better than that. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. There were no other public comments in queue at this time.
Thank you. We have 2 additional in-person speakers. The first person is Jesse Figueroa, followed by Vito Havrila.
I'm ready. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse Figueroa, U.S. Army veteran, disability advocate, and ADA accessibility member. Here are my topics. Number 1, lack of accessibility and New Jersey Transit information needs to be posted on its website and in person. Number 2, Any fare changes needs to show reduced fare prices as well. Last one, number 3, we need accessibility at the stations and assist staff in helping seniors and people with disabilities, to include our veterans. Thank you all and God bless.
Thank you. The last speaker is Vito Havrilo.
Hi, I'm Vito Havrilla. I'm the Legislative Director of the Lackawanna Coalition. We're a public transportation advocacy organization. We meet in Millburn every month. Our next meeting is the 24th of June, 6:45 p.m. I invite you all to join us, either in person at Town Hall or online. Contact me or Sally for information. And I'm going to briefly read a resolution we passed in November 2022, calling for hourly service between Hoboken and Montclair State University Station on weekends. So on the 28th of November 2022, our organization passed a resolution calling for hourly service between these two stations on the Montclair-Boonton line. Currently, service is every 2 hours between Bay Street and Hoboken, and then after 9 o'clock, there's a 3-hour gap in service. So we want to have hourly service. It's very painful to be waiting 2 hours for a train in Hoboken or in New York Penn Station to make your connection. And there's no real good way of getting back and forth. We just have to wait 2 hours to get back to our homes. So yes, we will call on everyone to tell New Jersey Transit to make this improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, public speakers. Are there any board member comments? Okay. Board member Nara?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Megan. I just wanted to ask staff, I took note of Ms. Leone's issues with Access Link, and I guess one of the things that struck me was the issues with the reservation system. So if staff could just please get back to me or the other board members about what's going on with the reservation system. Is it a systematic problem, or was it just once or twice? As well as the issue with the driver training and consistency amongst all the trainers about the cones and any other issues related to how our passengers are safely and adequately brought on to vehicles, exit vehicles, and their actual trips. So I would appreciate that sometime if people, members of staff could get back to us on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional board member comments? Okay, thank you.
Board Member Cruz will present the Operations and Customer Service Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Operations and Customer Service Committee received an update on trends, analysis, and actions for rail, bus, light rail, and Access Link. The committee also received an update on the cost of service. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Carson will present the Administration Committee report.
The Administration Committee received a financial update. This included a summary of operating results compared to previous year's comparable period and fiscal year 24 budget, 12-month fare box revenue compared to pre-COVID, major balance sheet items, and federal COVID-19 relief grant drawdown summary. Additional information was provided as part of the agenda materials, including the cost of service, key performance indicators, 12-month fare box recovery, history of vacancies, attrition and hires, ridership and revenue, and a monthly budget to actual comparison for April 2024. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Wise will present the Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee report.
The Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee reviewed the board items for the resolution authorizing entering into a funding agreement for the purchase of environmental mitigation credits and permits for the Sawtooth Bridges Replacement Project between New Jersey Transit Corporation and the National Railroad Passenger Corporation, and authorizing the purchase of various environmental mitigation credits and grants for the Sawtooth Bridges Replacement Project. Brielle Drawbridge Replacement Project Design Consultant Contract Award for Conceptual and Preliminary Design, and Brick Church Station Construction Contract Award for Interior Restoration. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Wise will present the Energy Sustainability Policy Committee report.
The Energy and Sustainability Policy Committee received an update on the sustainability plan, website updates, non-revenue electric vehicle fleet, and the state mandate S2252. That concludes my report.
Thank you. President and CEO Corbett will present the action items.
Thank you, Chair. I'd now like to introduce Banu Thomas, Senior Vice President and Chief Administration Officer, present Board Item 2406-33 regarding limited qualified source procurement by exceptions. Banu?
Thank you, President Corbett. Good morning. We are presenting for approval item number 2406-33, fiscal year 2025, sole, single, and limited qualified source procurement by exception authorization. Authorization is requested to enter into procurement by exception contracts for the purchase of materials and services from approved vendors set forth in Exhibit A1, subject to adjustments, to support bus, rail, light rail, and headquarters operations at the cost not to exceed $15 million plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. Authorization is also requested to enter into procurement by exception contracts for the purpose of maintaining and upgrading hardware and software systems for approved vendors set forth in Exhibit A2, subject to adjustments to support New Jersey Transit's information systems at a total cost not to exceed $15 million plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. Authorization is also requested to enter into procurement by exception contracts for purchase of materials and service from approved vendors set forth in Exhibit A3, subject to adjustments to support New Jersey Transit infrastructure at a cost not to exceed $2,500,000 plus 5% of contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. Federal Transit Administration approval, and all other applicable requirements. The board will be advised when the actual spend is projected to exceed the allowance. New firms with services whose aggregate value exceeds $250,000 within the fiscal year will be submitted to the board. The request covers a 12-month period from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. We ask for your approval of item number 2406-33.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-33?
So moved, Canaan.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Meg, please take the roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Abrantes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Kaniff? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, and now I'd like to introduce Rich Schaefer, Senior Vice President, Capital Programs, present Board Item 2406-34 regarding funding agreements for Sawtooth Bridge Replacement Project. Rich.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2406-34, resolution authorizing entering into a funding agreement for the purchase of environmental mitigation credits and permits for the Sawtooth Bridges Replacement Project between New Jersey Transit Corporation and the National Railroad Passenger Corporation, and authorizing the purchase of various environmental mitigation credits and grants for the Sawtooth Bridge Replacement Project. Authorization is requested to enter into an agreement, any amendments, and any supporting agreements with the National Railroad Passenger Corporation, Amtrak, whereby Amtrak will provide the necessary funds to engage in environmental activities such as environmental mitigation and other involved parties to facilitate the purposes of the project. Authorization is also requested to expend funds which are reimbursable under the aforementioned funding agreement to perform environmental activities such as environmental mitigation. We ask for your approval of item 2406-34.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-34? May I have a second?
Second, Canaan.
Any discussions? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Kaniff? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Member Medina is recused from item 2406-35 and will not comment or vote on the item.
Great, thanks, Megan. Now ask Rich to continue with item 2406-35 regarding Brielle Drawbridge.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2406-35, Brielle Drawbridge Replacement Project, Design Consultant Contract Award for Conceptual and Preliminary Design. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with Hardesty and Hanover LLC of New York, New York, to provide design and engineering consultant services for the Brielle Drawbridge Replacement Project Phase 1 at a cost not to exceed $7,708,478.47, plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2406-35.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-35?
So moved.
May I have a second? Any discussion? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Koenig? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you, Rich, you're on the roll. I'd ask you now to present 2406-36 regarding Brick Church Station restoration.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2406-36, Brick Church Station Construction Contract Award for Interior Restoration. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with John O'Hara Company Incorporated of East Orange, New Jersey, to provide construction services for Brick Church Station interior restoration in the amount not to exceed $3,122,603.89, plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2406-36.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-36? May I have a second?
Second, Carson.
Any discussion? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Koenig? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. I'd now ask Rich to present his last item for action today, 2406-37 regarding professional service contracts. Rich.
Thank you, CEO Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2406-37, Capital Programs Management Professional Services Contract. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with Anthony D'Amico LLC of New York, New York, for a professional services contract in the amount not to exceed $1.2 million, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2406-37.
I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-37.
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Koenig? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Justin Davis, Senior Vice President, Regulatory and Government Affairs and Chief of Staff, to present Board Item 2406-38 regarding our bylaws. Justin?
Thank you, President Corbett, Chair, Board. We're presenting for approval item number 2406-38, New Jersey Transit Corporation bylaws and bylaws of subsidiary entities, New Jersey Transit Bus Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc. Authorization is being requested to approve and adopt the revised bylaws of the New Jersey Transit Corporation, Exhibit A, New Jersey Transit Bus Operations Incorporated, Exhibit B, New Jersey Transit Rail Operations Incorporated, Exhibit C, New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., Exhibit D, and New Jersey Transit Morris Incorporated, Exhibit E. We ask for your approval of item 2406-38.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-38?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Koenig?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. And the last action item for today, I'd like to introduce Jackie Stanford, Acting Senior Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Treasurer, to present Board Item 2406-39. Jackie?
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item number 2406-39, Corporate Insurance Program Annual Renewal. Authorization is requested to revise and renew the corporate insurance program and to include services necessary to administer the program for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, at an annual cost not to exceed an amount discussed in executive session, plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds and adoption of the FY 2025 operating budget. We ask for your approval of item number 2406-39.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2406-39?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keniff? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Before we adjourn to executive session, I want to let the public know that we will return to adjourn the meeting, but no further business will be conducted. May I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters, contract negotiations, the status of pending and anticipated litigation, and matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, including but not limited to the Fair Modernization Program, the personnel injury claim of Wally Floreman Polino, the personal injury claim of Juana Marcelino, the personal injury claim of Marina Gelfin, and the personal injury claim of Gerard Folletti. May I have a motion to enter into executive session? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussions? Meg, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keniff? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Kevin?
It's not material.
I hereby reconvene the open session board meetings.
Sorry. I will now take a roll call vote. Roll call. Board Member Abrantes? Yes. Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member
Here.
Weiss? Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Chair O'Connor.
Here. Since there's no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the board meeting? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.